Recently, I had the absolute pleasure of meeting Dr. Karen Moore, who's a filmmaker. She has an amazing film called Color of Beautiful. It speaks to colorism as it relates to our race and the different hues and colors, light skin versus dark skin. And I had an opportunity to sit down with Karen Moore to talk about what motivated her to do this film.
Colorism is the preferential treatment of lighter skin over darker skin. It's also discrimination, we can call it discrimination, favoring lighter skin over darker skin in almost every area you can think about.
You know, it's just growing up, things that happen in the household, you're too dark to wear this or that, or don't go out in the sun, or name called, being teased in middle school, elementary, so those were my experiences growing up.
I'm an anti-racism educator, organizer. I'm a historian of sorts, and I am concerned with us as African descendants kind of not knowing who we are. I'm concerned that too many of us have internalized the identity of being simply black. And I think that has harmed us because it has made us the only people on the entire globe that's trying to create an identity, a positive identity, out of 500 years of bad history. So for too many of us who are African descendants here on this continent, believe that our story started when our ancestors arrived here as hostages. So whoever gets to have control over where the story starts basically gets to tell you who you are because they got to tell you where the story starts. And so for us, we've kind of internalized that to the point that not enough of us recognize that if our ancestors heard us refer to ourselves simply as black, they would not understand what's happening. If our ancestors who were brought here as hostages heard us refer to ourselves simply as black people, they wouldn't get it, because when they were taken hostage, the identity of black as a human being, the identity of black did not exist. It's something that was imposed on us when we became cargo negro, or black cargo, right in the belly of slave ships. We became cargo, and we were called cargo negro, black cargo. And so then when our ancestors arrived here, the cargo part was left off, and we became simply Negroes.
I think one of the things that's very, very, very important is imagery, for one thing. Imagery, and one of the things that we try to do is show images of darker skinned women and say that this is beauty also. So I think that because we haven't seen a lot of that in a lot of places, that this is what is being shown as being beautiful, it's important for that imagery be there and for those images to say, okay, this is also beautiful. And I think that one of the things that's so important for the color of beautiful is that we help darker skinned women to understand that you are beautiful. It's not just lighter skin that's beautiful, but also darker skin is beautiful. So we put out images that are I feel are very important to help people to see that yes, this is also beautiful. And then the film also being able to show that and be able to have conversation. I think conversation is extremely important, that we have these conversations and we're talking about it, and people being able to give their experiences and share their experiences so that we can really begin to understand how it is still affecting our community today.
We need to recognize that our identity is not simply tied up in being black. We need to reconnect with what it means to be from the continent of Africa, and whatever that means for us. See, there's value, there's individual value in that. It's not going to change the world. It's not going to change the world. It may not even change the way that people look at you when they see you. But what it does for you inside is it helps you to understand that I am not simply black. I am an African descendant with all that means.
One of the things for this movie was that it was important for me to be able to also address the issues that many light-skinned women face. And I came to that understanding. What you saw at the end was a stage production that I do called Poetic Blues: A Sister Story. And so when I was doing that, and I would do brown skin blues, my sister, who's light skinned, who actually did Too Dark to Be White, Too Light to Be Black, told me that light skinned women have blues too. And I said, since when? Like, really? Since when do light skinned women have blues? But after having a conversation, I came to understand that light-skinned women also face issues when it comes to dealing with colorism and some of the residual effects of colorism, and how many times they experience the other side of it, in the sense that I know many light-skinned women have told me about being bullied also because of their light skin, and having to deal with different issues also because of light skin. So I wanted to make sure that we did, even though colorism is about the discrimination and preference, the preferential treatment of light skin over dark skin, I did also want to address the issue that it does affect light skin women and men also.
We can try to educate, hopefully that works, but for me, I feel like my mission is to get them younger, because that's where my first experiences was, home, young, and in school. So just starting there, making people aware of what colorism is, what it means, letting them know where all the different communities. I've had conversations with people from India and Asia. It's the same. It's the same. You know, I can speak more on, because I'm black, I can talk about this, but it's the same. The skin bleaching is crazy over there because it's a value on lighter skin. So for me, I want to get to the children and try to make that change, let them see their value in their skin. If they're darker, lighter, doesn't matter, but just having those conversations young, so as they get older, hopefully we can combat this mess.
It's important that we really talk about it and get with the real issues that people are having, because if we just talk about it superficially, then we don't really get to the core of the hurt and the pain. The young woman that got, she was getting emotional about it because there is a lot of hurt and trauma that comes with it. And if we aren't talking about it and beginning to address it and talk about the hurt and trauma of it, we have people walking around who really are traumatized. Well, we're traumatized as a people anyway. There's so much trauma that happens with us.
So we can't allow ourselves to continue to be the only persons on the entire planet who are creating an identity out of 500 years of history, because nobody else is doing that.
You can catch me at The Color of Beautiful. We're The Color of Beautiful everywhere. Color spelled C-O-L-O-U-R, because you are beautiful. The Color of Beautiful, and we are thecolorofbeautiful.black, the website. And so you can find us on Facebook and Instagram and the website.
It's a very, very powerful film.